What if I told you that the entire future of Formula One might have just shifted direction? Not inside a boardroom, not inside the paddock, but on the deck of a private yacht floating off the coast of Sardinia? Yes, you heard that right. Max Verstappen, a four-time world champion and the most dominant driver of his generation, was spotted having a secret meeting with none other than Mercedes boss Toto Wolff. This wasn't just a casual hello in the paddock. This was private, discreet and very deliberate. And here's the kicker. Both Verstappen and Wolff have already gone on record saying their futures are committed. Verstappen tied to Red Bull through 2028, Wolff supposedly doubling down on George Russell, and rising junior Andrea Kimi Antonelli. So why then are these two men, who were once bitter enemies during the peak of the Red Bull-Mercedes rivalry, meeting in private, away from cameras, with nothing but the Italian sea breeze and a suspiciously timed yacht party to cover it all up? Tonight, we're going deep into this mystery. We'll unpack what this meeting could really mean, why 2027 might hold the biggest driver shake-up Formula One has seen since Lewis Hamilton stunned the world by leaving McLaren for Mercedes, and most importantly, what this does to George Russell's confidence as the walls close in around him. Strap in, because this isn't just another F1 rumour. This is a power play, a psychological chess match, and perhaps the early stages of a move that could define the next decade of Formula One. The images first surfaced from an Italian outlet called Autoprint, a sleek yacht anchored off the Sardinian coast. On board, Toto Wolff, owner, team principal, and the man who engineered Mercedes' F1 dominance through the 2010s. And alongside him, Max Verstappen, wrapped casually in a towel, smiling, laughing, looking every bit like he belonged there. This wasn't an official meeting in a corporate office. It wasn't even a coincidental encounter in the paddock. This was personal. Max was a guest on Wolff's yacht, invited into Wolff's private world. And that is exactly why it's setting the F1 world on fire, because let's be honest, these two aren't supposed to be friends. Back in 2021, when Verstappen and Hamilton clashed in one of the fiercest title fights in F1 history, Toto Wolff and Christian Horner were at war. Wolff didn't just argue with Verstappen, he would have metaphorically burned Red Bull to the ground if it meant securing Mercedes' 8th championship. And yet, here we are. 3 years later, Verstappen is on Wolff's yacht, smiling, talking, relaxing. The question writes itself, what are they plotting? On paper, Verstappen's future is clear. He is contracted with Red Bull until 2028. A mega deal that made him the face of the team, the heir to Sebastian Vettel's legacy, and the man Christian Horner has bet his entire empire on. But Formula One contracts are never as ironclad as they look, and Verstappen's is no different. Buried within that contract are escape clauses, exit ramps that allow Max to walk away if Red Bull fails to deliver a competitive car. According to reports close to his management, Verstappen has the option to leave after 2026 if Red Bull's new power unit project flops under the upcoming regulations. And that is the ticking time bomb here, because while Red Bull dominated with Honda power, the new Red Bull powertrains division is still untested. Insiders whisper that Audi and Ferrari might already be ahead in development. Aston Martin with Honda's full backing could surprise everyone. Meanwhile, Red Bull is scrambling after losing Adrian Newey and dismissing Helmut Marko, their two longest-serving brains. For Verstappen, that uncertainty is unacceptable. Why tie yourself down to a potentially sinking ship when you could hold all the cards and move wherever the fastest car will be? That's why this yacht meeting matters. It's not about 2026, it's about 2027 and beyond. Toto Wolff has been vocal about his commitment to George Russell. He's praised the young Brit as the future of Mercedes. He's hyped Andrea Kimi Antonelli, the teenage prodigy they've been grooming since karting. On paper, the lineup looks locked. But Wolff is also a pragmatist. He doesn't just want drivers, he wants champions. And when the chance arises to sign a generational talent like Verstappen, you don't ignore the opportunity. Wolff himself admitted it. Before even sitting down to negotiate Russell's renewal, he had to talk to Max first. Let that sink in. He didn't say maybe, he didn't say it crossed his mind. He said that he had to talk to Verstappen before anything else. What does that say to George Russell? That his seat is safe, or that he's a placeholder waiting for Verstappen to become available? And this is where the psychological warfare begins. Because even if Russell performs brilliantly in 2026, even if he wins races or a championship, the shadow of Verstappen will loom large. The fear that at any moment Toto might trade him for Max. Imagine being George Russell. You fought your way through Williams, endured years of backmarker misery, finally earned a shot with Mercedes, and proven yourself alongside Lewis Hamilton. You think you've secured your place. And then suddenly every headline screams about Toto Wolff's secret talks with Verstappen. Every camera zooms in on Max lounging on your boss's yacht. How do you not see that as a betrayal? How do you not feel the weight of suspicion every time Wolff praises you in public? It's the same game Mercedes once played with Valtteri Bottas. Always the loyal soldier, always good enough to help, but never secure enough to be the chosen one. Russell could very well be the next casualty of Mercedes' relentless hunger for greatness. And the irony, even if Russell over-delivers, even if he does everything right, it might not matter. Because if Verstappen is available, if he's hungry, if Red Bull collapses, Wolff will pounce. That's the harsh truth. The 2026 regulations will reshape Formula One. New engines, new fuel efficiency demands, new electrical systems, and Red Bull powertrains for the first time in their history will go solo. The whispers aren't promising. Some insiders claim Audi is already ahead. Ferrari has poured unprecedented resources into their 2026 project. Aston Martin has Honda, a proven powerhouse. And Mercedes, of course, remains the benchmark in hybrid engine technology. Meanwhile, Red Bull faces instability, new leadership, technical reshuffling, the loss of Adrian Newey's genius. Verstappen knows this. He's seen how fast empires can fall in F1. Remember 2014? Red Bull went from 4 consecutive titles with Vettel to being powerless against Mercedes' hybrid engines. It can happen again. And if it does, Max wants the option to walk away. That's why he hasn't tied himself down beyond 2026. That's why Toto's yacht invitation wasn't just casual, it was strategic. Former Haas principal Guenther Steiner put it best. Verstappen's decision is pure strategy. By committing only until 2026, Verstappen gives himself ultimate flexibility. If Red Bull nails the regulations, great, he stays and dominates. If not, he surveys the field and picks the best seat. Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, even Aston Martin, all are possible landing spots. That's why this isn't just a rumour. It's calculated. Verstappen is patient. He doesn't need to jump early and risk being stuck in the wrong car. He can wait, see how 2026 plays out, and then choose his destiny. That is power. And Wolff knows it. History is full of moments like this. Michael Schumacher leaving Benetton for Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton leaving McLaren for Mercedes. Fernando Alonso jumping from Renault to McLaren, then back again. At the time, many of those moves looked risky, even foolish. Hamilton was ridiculed for leaving McLaren, a proven winner for a struggling Mercedes team in 2013, and yet that decision defined an entire era. Verstappen's situation has that same energy. Stay loyal and risk stagnation, or leap at the right moment and cement yourself as not just a champion, but a legend who reshaped the sport. At the end of the day, the images of Verstappen and Wolff on that yacht are more than just gossip. They're a glimpse into the future. A reminder that in Formula One, loyalty is fragile, contracts are flexible, and power shifts in the blink of an eye. Max Verstappen holds all the cards. Toto Wolff is determined to play the long game. George Russell is caught in the middle. So here's the question for you. If Verstappen does move in 2027, should Mercedes betray Russell to sign him, or should they stay loyal to the drivers they've built up for years? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're at it, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more breaking F1 news, and hit that bell so you never miss the drama. Because trust me, this story is only just beginning.